السلام عليكم. أحمد الله رب العالمين حمد عباده الذاكرين الشاكرين، وأصلي وأسلم على سيدنا Muhammad وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين. What I wanted to focus on today is not really a dua per se, but it's actually a moment in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relates to us. And it's a rather fascinating moment, honestly. And what I'm talking about is the story of Mariam alayhi salam, a specific snippet from the story of Mariam, Mary alayhi salam, the mother of Jesus, Isa alayhi salam. And in this moment of the story, Mariam alayhi salam, as we're told through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His holy book, finds out that she is pregnant, that she is going to have Isa alayhi salam. And in this moment, I want you to imagine what she's going through. This young woman who had never had a husband, as she said in her own words, had never been touched by a man before, is now about to have a child that is completely unexplained and out of the blue. And she has no way to justify it to her family. She has no way to talk about it to her community. She does not know what to do. So she basically takes it upon herself and runs away, separates herself from her community and from her tribe. And she says to herself in that moment of anguish and pain, she says, يَا لَيْتَنِي مِتُّ قَبْلَ هَذَا وَكُنْتُ نَسْيًا مَنْسِيًّا. I wish I were dead. I wish I died before this. Now, it's a really fascinating thing to read in the Quran. We know, Islamically speaking, you're not even supposed to harm yourself, let alone wish death upon yourself. But this is a woman who's described as one of the four greatest women who ever lived by the Prophet ﷺ, someone that is given as full surah in the Quran al-Karim. And in this Quran, she's wishing for herself death, that she was dead. And on top of all that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us about it. Why? It begs that unanswerable question, that why? Why would she wish something like that on herself? And the answer is actually pretty simple. As we're taught through the Prophet ﷺ and the scholars, the answer is simply that it's okay to feel pain. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows we're going to hurt. That things sometimes will get to us, they'll ache us in our hearts and our souls. That they'll feel bad, that they'll look bad, that sometimes they'll be bad. But at the end, they'll all be okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls out to her right after that incident. And He tells her, لا تحزني, don't be sad, it's going to be okay. And He helps her and He grants her these miracles. But it's to tell us that at a time like this, it's okay to feel the pain. In fact, it's expected. But you can't let that pain get to you. You can't let that pain be the lasting feeling. We don't worship feelings. We worship Allah Azza wa Jal. And if we worship Allah Azza wa Jal, we know that that feeling will pass. Inna ma'al usri yusra. With hardship comes ease. Every single prophet and messenger experienced a moment in their life where they felt that it was a lot, that it was painful, that it was hard to bear and hard to deal with. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided them with that ease eventually. In this situation that we're in, I know it's common to feel the pain and the sadness and the stress that we're all going through, the anxiety of the situation, the stress of work or school, the stress of finances, the stress of the virus and the disease itself, the stress of everything. But it's important at these moments that we acknowledge that it's okay to feel the pain. And we take it as a moment to turn back to Allah Azza wa Jal. For no one can help us in this situation like He can, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khairan. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this burden easy on you all, and to grant you all the reward for it in this life and the next, and to grant you peace and patience and happiness for yourselves and your loved ones. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.